First and foremost, apologies for not posting last week. Had to finish up that 98 Cobra, but now we're back to it. And we're on to this. So what are we doing, Isaac?
Well, we're doing a 2003 COBRA rebuild.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, we blew a couple of head gaskets. Maybe. I don't know yet, but we're going to find out once we pop this motor out of the engine bay. We're going to see what kind of damage we did with that watt box we installed a few months ago. As you can see, it's looking a little dusty. It's been sitting a little bit. It hurts my heart looking at it this way, but
those vents do, man.
yeah, these vents right here, they, you know what, they're heat extractors or whatever, but they really mess up this whole area right here in your car. Obviously the whole thing, as you can see, because it just lets all kinds of dust get in here. This is my baby right here. It's an 03 10th anniversary Cobra. I bought it a little over a year ago, and I blew the head gasket after a couple months. That was like 4 or 5 months, right?
I think so.
I enjoyed it for like half a year, I believe.
Give y'all a little walk around of his car.
Oh, for y'all that are interested, it's ported, eaten, some injectors. That's all we did to it, huh?
Yeah.
That's it, and an intake. Oh, and off-road mid-pipe, because this is an off-road only vehicle, as you can see. But with the tune, made a little under 500 to the wheels. That's what this car life will do to you. It'll make you spend a lot of money and hurt your heart.
Look at the wheels.
Don't mind this. It's a nice little setup. It's actually kind of clean in here. I used to keep this thing really clean.
Still looking good.
Yeah, looking good. I don't know if y'all notice in the backgrounds, I would have all kinds of blankets on top of it to kind of protect the dashboard and the seats, but it's looking really mint in here. And I robbed the stereo, put in another car because it was down, but it's coming back to life. I don't know a date yet, but we're gonna make it happen starting today. Well, if it'll even start, because this battery has been sitting for quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna find out.
See if it spits out that sweet green. Oh man. Take two. The aftermath of being started up for 2 minutes. I'm lying, like 15.
Over here. And no, it's not the radiator cap or the overflow cap. Tried that a million times.
Try different radiators.
Thermostat, did everything.
Isaac just got done protecting the roof, so we can put the hood on top of that, and then we'll get started.
All right, man, I had to do a small little prayer because just about to hit Isaac's pockets real deep. But first and foremost, we're gonna get started with disconnecting the harnesses, lines, hoses, vacuum lines,
The whole 9 yards.
the whole nine before we pull. And with Isaac being on that side, that's now his side, and this is my side. So me, I'm gonna start on the engine harness, tranny harness, gas lines, AC harness, and then I'm gonna disconnect the AC compressor from the actual motor, so I don't have to deal with the Freon. It's not Freon no more, it's like 834 or something like that. So we don't gotta deal with that. I'm gonna disconnect that. Radiator reservoir, the intercooler reservoir, and then on the Isaac side.
On my side, there's not too much. Clutch cable, power steering reservoir, bracket, the tank, whatever you want to call it. A few lines going into this fuse box over here, the panel, helping out wherever I can. Oh, and the power steering pump. That's the worst part to take off and disconnect on these cars specifically. I think there's 3 bolts.
Three bolts come off easy. One is behind the freaking.
One is annoying. There's a line right on top of it. You gotta pull out. As you're pulling out, it's a pain.
We'll show you guys.
Yeah, we'll try to show you guys. We're gonna pull this whole thing with the tranny out, so make it nice and easy. We're gonna see how far we can get today and go from there.
And if you guys haven't worked on these motors or any 4.6 motor,
Stay away.
stay away, because
Just leave it alone.
yeah, these is
You don't want it.
boats on wheels. It's straight money pits, man. It's a lot of money, man. You guys will see as you follow along.
we doing, homie? What we doing?
Taking this super tight belt off.
Yo, for all you termi owners, y'all know that this belt got it tight.
No belt slip.
Yeah, you don't want that belt slip. There she goes.
Ready to throw this belt away.
No, don't want to do that to this 100 and I forgot how much it was, but it was a lot. After about 2 months of owning this car, I got it tuned, and my original belt that I had on here when I bought it was about halfway cut right here. And I would go into boost, hear that whine, and out of nowhere I hear something smacking on my hood. And there was a tear there was on this belt, just smacking on the hood, making all kinds of mess down here. Went to Napa, found this, cost me about $120.
Napa know-how.
Never did I think I would pay 120 bucks for a goddamn belt. I was used to paying 30 bucks on the Foxes, but
Fox life is the right life.
way cheaper life, that's for sure. I just recorded the last 1 minute without pressing record. Anyways, what I was saying is, harness is disconnected, fuel lines disconnected, all the lines from that side are disconnected from the motor. Same thing with this side over here, the driver's side. We just got this disconnected. The supercharger belt, actually, y'all saw that, got all this disconnected. So now we gotta unhook the bottom of this hose here. We gotta go underneath the car, the pump, the AC compressor, and the filter, so we could disconnect that, and the top portion is done. Now all we would need is a cross member for the tranny, exhaust, drive shaft, and it's ready to go.
In the day one, what we got left?
It's the AC compressor and the power steering pump. It's pretty simple. We're kind of, I'd say a little bit past halfway there or halfway there. A couple more hours and it'll get this thing pulled. We just gotta stop today. We'll come back at it tomorrow. So we'll get this thing pulled and we'll catch you guys then. I started taking out this bumper, got all the tabs out, unbolted it off and everything, and forgot to record. Good thing I remembered, but here's the reason why we're pulling it. Look at that. That's not supposed to be right there. That's actually supposed to be attached to there, just like it is over there. So we're gonna go ahead and get that fixed before we get this back on the road. And this frees up a little bit more space up front, so we can go ahead and pull this motor up and out, get this going. Got this front pulley system, a serpentine belt system. This one right here for the supercharger. So it has all these idler pulleys, alternator down there, and then the crank itself. So we got to get that disconnected so we could get to my friend right there, and we could get the AC compressor and power steering pump back there, which is a pain to get. Y'all gonna see why. If y'all done this, y'all know the pain that I'm about to suffer. So let's get to it. I got a little too ahead of myself and I disconnected the upper bracket for the supercharger, but pretty much all it is, for those of you who don't know, it's I think it's 6 bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's another one on top of the wire. Once you get that out, everything should be good to go. Pull this thing out. I should be able to just loosen up the serpentine belt right here just the way it is, and then be able to loosen up the belt around from the AC compressor and the power steering pump. So we're gonna see how that goes. It's the supercharger cage crank pulley. It's pretty much a bracket with the pulley for the front supercharger belt. It's a pain.
There's no way you're gonna get that with your hands.
If you're not over 250 pounds, even 250, I question it, but if you're not over 250, you're gonna have to get 2 people to stand.
My man was up here for about 2 minutes kicking on this thing down.
That's 300 pounds.
I didn't want to slip, because if I go to slip and my foot go down, that core support's going somewhere I don't want it to go. That's no good. Well, yeah, look at that. We cracked it loose, baby.
We loose now, but I've been struggling with it for about an hour, and I broke a Husky adapter. We broke the Craftsman half-inch ratchet. That's gone.
It worked right now.
But as soon as you put any kind of weight onto it, it does not work. We finally got this thing off. Now I can start the power steering pump
/ AC compressor.
and then the tranny and exhaust. Yeah, look at my man's chest hair right there.
That's that real man stuff right there. This is the magic tool right here. We're gonna use this little baby tool, 10 millimeter. And then that bolt.
Right there.
Let's see if I can point. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. So now if you can imagine, there's no space between that bolt and that hose. The trick is to unbolt the other ones, and then you get this one with 10 millimeter. Where's it at? Right there. And as you're unbolting it, loosening it, as this power steering pump is coming out, the bolt's coming out with it. Because you can't take out that bolt with that line in the way. My man Trav.
See that technique I got going on?
This is the one that we've been anticipating and talking about right here. You can only go as fast as that bolt twists, and there's not a lot of space.
Letting the rest of the tranny drain. Me and Bud got the exhaust down, cross member down, drive shaft out, and we're ready to go. Just double check and make sure everything's unhooked. And this right here, guys, is why you get an oil catch. Can't leave that.
Back. Hey.
This guy Torn ain't been on here at all.
No. I just switched up shifts. We've been lagging a little bit, you know what I'm saying? They switched me on my job. And yeah, I'm here late now. I'm just watching now. That's it.
But that's NGW, you know me.
That's top of the line rustling right
I mean,
there.
I bought ARPs and they still rust.
Yeah, ARP water pumps for the Foxes.
Oh.
You talking about me?
No,
Nah,
that
just
was
nah,
a
no.
Trav's fault. I mean,
Scoot it over this way.
Yeah.
Trying to break their backs. Let me move the look. Ooh. Dang, boy. And the plane is coming. Woo! Nice. A T-56. Oh, baby.
Oh man, he just did a big old scratch in the table.
Man, shut up, Trav.
Oh dang.
You guys want a popsicle?
I don't remember stripping that.
You said what?
I don't remember stripping
It probably was like that before. Ooh, that's bending, Trav.
that. Nah, that shit, that was 30.
That's bending with him.
Fire rated door.
That's bending. Y'all see that bend? Yeah.
Hopefully there's no earthquake.
Hopefully it don't snap. That's big facts.
That's it.
It's my bedtime. So I think we're done. We just gotta move the motor. Yeah, we'll stop it. Let's throw the engine on the table. Track can fit on it. The engine definitely can fit on it. What's up, homie?
That shit wasn't even charging.
Was it?
That snap, homie.
Look.
Call it a night. Motor is out. Or is it? Let's go home, homie. Let's go. Is it?
Let's see what this is looking like. Oh, nothing. Yeah, so no coolant inside of the actual block itself. What's up, y'all? We back at it. Now, we didn't record the whole process of swapping the motors out because, long story short, we got way too many motors in here. And we got like 4 engine stands and all of them occupied with a bunch of motors that aren't being touched. So we had a 2-valve on this. We went ahead and trashed that. We got the old trusty, super expensive 0304 Cobra motor on here. And we're gonna get to the teardown. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'm interested because I'm gonna time it. We got the exhaust, pretty much everything. I mean, everything outside of the whole supercharger brackets up front. So we're gonna get this harness off, supercharger off first, that way we can get room for everything else. We're gonna get this done because tomorrow we're gonna take the heads into the machine shop, try to get that done, and to get back to the rebuild. Let's get it.
show you guys a very important tool. It's a camshaft holding tool. This is what you use to take it apart, and then when you go back to install them, this is what you use, these two right here. So basically, you're gonna take this out, put on these two cams, tighten it in to where the cams are inside these openings, and then take this tensioner off, take that timing chain off, and then take the head off. Leave the tool on at all times because you don't want no bent valves. So you do that, take the head off, go to the other side, repeat the procedure. And that's how you take the heads off without damaging the valves. All right, so now, tighten these tight as you get, evenly. And you take a wrench, because you know, never trust a tool. Make sure that's tight, because if it's not tight and it slips, that valve kicks that piston, might bend it. And you feel where you trust it. Good to go. Now we take this tensioner off. I think that's 13 too. I don't know. We'll see. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, baby. All right, so now that the timing chain's off, we're gonna keep the holding tool still on the cams. We're gonna loosen all the head bolts, take the heads off. That's when we take the holding tool off. Don't take it off now after you get the timing chain off, because then it's gonna wanna go to resting point on the opposite side of the lobes, and that's when you slap a valve to a piston and possibly bend something. So get the heads off, take the holding tool off, and then that's when we go to the other side and repeat. All right, forgot to mention the camshaft holding tool. It takes up the middle bay of the cams. So you have to get those two bolts out, and the head bolts first. It's not gonna do anything. You still got 4 on each side. So you take the 2 out, and then install the camshaft holding tool, and that's when you take the rest out. So if you put the camshaft holding tool on first, and you leave those bolts here, you're not gonna be able to get them out. And that defeats the purpose. So get those out, get those handled, move on to the next one. Oh,
Your water broke.
it did. Where am I gonna put these? On the floor?
I don't know. They smell like straight buoy.
You guys, look at all these cylinders. Tell me what you see out of the ordinary. And yeah. I won't point any fingers on what's obvious, but why are these black? That one's not. Yes, sir.
Now what?
Always clean your tools. Clean your tools all the time. Keep it
Clean your
clean.
tools with some dirty gloves.
Hey. All right, but right now, we're gonna get ready to take into the head shop. So we'll take the tensioners off. That way we can get the secondary chains off. Take the cams out, the arms, and the lifters out. Strip it down to get ready to go. So we'll get to it and do it.
Watch this though. Oh, that's a supercharged battery right there.
Exhaust side, the other sides.
The other side.
Yeah, because it's the exhaust side too, but this is the far exhaust side. These are all the other ones. Always remember that. Some people put these over here, and when they go to put them, they break and they're like, man, what the heck? So always remember that.
you're recording.
Yeah.
Get the head on me.
All right, this is, what side is this, Isaac?
This is
Driver's side.
driver's side.
This is the darker of the two. We're going to golden side. Or we'll get to after once we come back. But there won't be no gold no more or brown. We're ready to send them off.
Nice, crisp, and new.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm gonna be a little bit more broke.
A lot.